We're going to start building your dream game right now. This method has 100% success rate. There's no way you can fail. What we're going to do is you're going to write down your dream game. You're going to, on top of a piece of paper or notepad or whatever you're writing down things on, write down your dream game, what you're trying to build. Then we're going to list out things that you need to make a decision on. And as you do that, each point on that checklist is a prototype for you to build. And as you build these prototypes, you're taking one small chunk of your game that you need to learn. And this will help you be able to understand what it is that you need to learn at this specific moment in your game development journey. You follow this checklist, you will be able to finish and publish your game. I've done it 3 times already with 3 different games that have been published and launched and made money. Item number 1, platform and engine. What's the engine that you want to build on? What's the platform you want to build for? Grab a template and build to that platform in the engine of your choice. Checklist item number 2, your genre. Is it a card game? Is it a turn-based, 3D, 2D? Make a prototype with your genre in mind. Checklist item number 3, your interactions. Do you need physics? Is it 2D physics, 3D physics? The movement, player movement, third person, first person. All you need is a player controller and the interactions. Checklist item number 4, multiplayer versus single player. Is there a story-based game? Maybe you'll need to figure out how to do story, how to do the progression system in the game. Maybe use multiplayer. Figure out what you're going to build. There's a lot of assets out there, companies that'll do multiplayer setup, and they have templates. Maybe that's how you make a choice. If you find someone like Photon has a lot of templates on all kinds of types of games. If maybe Photon is the simplest because it's faster to iterate on. Checklist item number 5. Now you're into the back end. How are you going to set? Is there a progression in your game? Does this player need to save the information? You need a back end for that. Or are you going to store it locally? Are you going to use downloadable assets or DLCs? This is the time to figure that out. How are you going to structure your data? And how are you going to save it or maintain it across multiple levels? Checklist item number 6, funding. How are you going to fund for your game? Are you going to sell copies? And if you're going to sell just copies and no monetization, maybe you need a Kickstarter or find a publisher. Are you signing up for a program? Maybe there's some grants from different studios that are given out to indie devs. So you got to think about it. If there's monetization, you need a prototype to figure out in-app purchases or subscription models. That information you need to figure out. If you need to spend time for a Kickstarter campaign, then that's what you would do instead of the prototype. The other thing you can do is sometimes for funding, you can think about it early on as you're going through step 1 through 5. You now have prototypes that you can give to people so they can see your game and see if it's worth investing in. Checklist item number 7, art style. Now that you have your budget, you need to figure out how much of that you're going to spend on your art assets. Maybe you'll choose to do an art style that you can do yourself. Checklist item number 8, login and authentication. Now that you know your platform, your engine, you're getting close to the finish line, and you need to figure out what you're going to do for login features to avoid friction and the player experience. Display name, their UI, their avatar. How are they going to log in and create that? Checklist item number 9, sound effects, background, ambient, sound, music. How are you going to do that? AI generated? Do you have a composer? What does the budget allow for? I think it's totally fine if you want to use a mic, do them yourself. The last one is it going to be cross-platform? By now, you can start building your game. You have all the skills necessary to build your game. So the last item is just a matter of how are you going to publish? Are you going to automate the build, save on the cloud? But now, since you have a budget, you have an idea what you want, and you have maybe a deadline at some point when you want to get this done, cut your scope by saying, I'm going to launch on one platform where I'm going to make the most money. And if I do make more money, I can then afford to launch on other platforms. That's a viable option. You follow these steps, you're guaranteed to finish. You can do this. And in order to help you even more, I have 2 more things to help you. One I have a school community for you that's built around the things that I've learned, the things that I know work to help you finish your game faster. It'll help you avoid pain points with publishing, marketing, and also with building prototypes and getting feedback from the community. We also have weekly Q&A calls where you can get help on your project, but everything is built to help you with your game. And I'm serious. Number 2, I'm so confident about this that I'm willing to help you. I know that you can finish your dream game, even if you never built a game before. I put a link below where you can schedule a one-on-one coach call with me, and we can start working on your game as soon as you want. So let's do it right now. Schedule a call, and let's get started on building your dream game.